This episode is brought to you by Glorify, the #1 Christian daily devotional app. Everything around us changes. God doesn't. That's why I love Glorify's 21-day challenge. It helps me build a simple habit of meeting with God every day. No pressure, just consistency. With Glorify, you can start your morning by reading the Bible passage of the day, diving into Glorify's daily devotional, and wrapping up with an immersive experience called Daily Walk with God. And if you need to take a few minutes to yourself in the middle of a busy day, try one of Glorify's guided meditations, or listen to their curated worship playlists for some quiet reflection. To end the day, enjoy Glorify's sleep meditations to help you wind down and put your mind and heart at ease. Whether you're a committed Christian or simply curious about faith, Glorify has something for you. Join over 20 million people who have downloaded the Glorify app and deepened their relationship with God. Listeners to the show can get full access to Glorify for just $29.99 for the entire year. That's Glorify's lowest price ever when you download the Glorify app now at glorify-app.com/redcircle. Feel closer to God this year with Glorify. Get full access all year for just $29.99 at glorify-app.com/redcircle. That's glorify-app.com/redcircle.
In life, we often face challenges that seem insurmountable, but amidst these trials, there's a comforting truth. God's power surpasses all our problems. No matter how big or overwhelming our difficulties may appear, they pale in comparison to the vastness of God's strength and love. Think of it this way. Imagine your problem is like a tiny pebble, and God is like the vast ocean. Just as the ocean dwarfs the pebble in size and power, so too does God's omnipotence overshadow any obstacle we may encounter. He is bigger than any setback, larger than any fear, and stronger than any adversity. When we feel overwhelmed by life's challenges, it's important to remember that we are not alone. God is always with us, ready to lend us His strength and guidance. By placing our trust in Him, we can find the courage to face our problems head on, knowing that His power is infinitely greater than anything we may encounter. No matter what difficulties you may be facing today, take comfort in the knowledge that God is bigger than your problems. His love knows no bounds, and His strength is limitless. So instead of dwelling on the size of your problems, focus on the size of your God and watch as He works miracles in your life. When we allow ourselves to truly believe in the magnitude of God's power, we find a sense of peace and reassurance that transcends our circumstances. Instead of being consumed by worry and doubt, we can surrender our problems to God, trusting that He will provide a way through. Even in the darkest of times, when it feels like our problems are closing in on us from every side, God's light shines brightly, illuminating the path ahead. His wisdom is beyond measure, and His love knows no bounds. When we turn to Him in prayer, we invite His divine intervention into our lives, opening ourselves up to the miraculous possibilities that only He can bring about. Remember, the same God who parted the Red Sea, healed the sick, and raised the dead is the God who stands ready to help you overcome your problems today. His power is not confined by time or space. It is as relevant and potent now as it has ever been. So, no matter what you may be facing, never underestimate the strength and sovereignty of God. Let us hold fast to the truth that God is indeed bigger than our problems. His infinite power, boundless love, and unwavering faithfulness make Him the ultimate source of hope and strength in our lives. So, instead of allowing ourselves to be overwhelmed by the challenges we encounter, let us fix our eyes on God and trust in His ability to see us through. With Him by our side, we can conquer any obstacle that comes our way. Furthermore, When we acknowledge that God is bigger than our problems, it shifts our perspective. Rather than dwelling on the enormity of our challenges, we can focus on the enormity of God's grace. His grace is like an endless ocean, capable of washing away our fears and insecurities. It is in His grace that we find strength, courage, and perseverance to navigate life's storms. Moreover, understanding that God is bigger than our problems empowers us to approach difficulties with a sense of faith and confidence. We no longer need to rely solely on our own abilities or resources because we know that God is our ultimate source.
This episode is brought to you by Glorify, the #1 Christian daily devotional app. Everything around us changes. God doesn't. That's why I love Glorify's 21-day challenge. It helps me build a simple habit of meeting with God every day. No pressure, just consistency. With Glorify, you can start your morning by reading the Bible passage of the day, diving into Glorify's daily devotional, and wrapping up with an immersive experience called Daily Walk with God. And if you need to take a few minutes to yourself in the middle of a busy day, try one of Glorify's guided meditations, or listen to their curated worship playlists for some quiet reflection. To end the day, enjoy Glorify's sleep meditations to help you wind down and put your mind and heart at ease. Whether you're a committed Christian or simply curious about faith, Glorify has something for you. Join over 20 million people who have downloaded the Glorify app and deepened their relationship with God. Listeners to the show can get full access to Glorify for just $29.99 for the entire year. That's Glorify's lowest price ever when you download the Glorify app now at glorify-app.com/redcircle. Feel closer to God this year with Glorify. Get full access all year for just $29.99 at glorify-app.com/redcircle. That's glorify-app.com/redcircle.
Help and provision. As we surrender our worries and anxieties to Him, we open ourselves up to His transformative power, allowing Him to work miracles in our lives. In essence, acknowledging that God is bigger than our problems is an invitation to trust Him more deeply. It's a reminder that we are not defined by our circumstances, but by our relationship with the Almighty. So, let us cast our cares upon Him, knowing that He cares for us deeply. And as we do so, may we experience the peace that surpasses all understanding, knowing that God is indeed greater than anything we may face. Moreover, recognizing that God is bigger than our problems instills in us a sense of humility. It reminds us that we are finite beings, limited in our understanding and abilities, while God is infinite and all-knowing. In acknowledging His supremacy, we relinquish the burden of trying to control every aspect of our lives and instead place our trust in His divine plan. Furthermore, embracing the truth that God is bigger than our problems cultivates gratitude within us. When we reflect on the countless blessings He has bestowed upon us, we realize that our problems, though challenging, are but temporary obstacles in the grand scheme of His providence. This realization fills our hearts with thanksgiving and praise, even in the midst of trials. Additionally, understanding that God is bigger than our problems compels us to share this message of hope with others. As we witness the transformative power of God in our own lives, we are inspired to reach out to those who are struggling and offer them the same reassurance and encouragement that we have received. In doing so, we become vessels of His love and instruments of His peace in a world that is often fraught with despair. The truth that God is bigger than our problems is a source of comfort, strength, and inspiration. It reminds us of His sovereignty, His grace, and His unwavering presence in our lives. So, let us hold fast to this truth, trusting in God's goodness and faithfulness, knowing that He is always with us, guiding us through every challenge and triumph. Moreover, when we fully grasp that God is bigger than our problems, it allows us to approach life with a newfound sense of freedom. We no longer need to be weighed down by worry or anxiety, for we know that God is in control. This realization empowers us to live boldly, stepping out in faith and embracing the opportunities that come our way, knowing that God will guide our steps. Additionally, understanding God's greatness prompts us to seek Him in every aspect of our lives. We realize that He is not just a distant deity, but a loving Father who desires to be intimately involved in our daily struggles and triumphs. By cultivating a deeper relationship with Him through prayer, meditation, and studying His Word, we can tap into His infinite wisdom and find the strength we need to overcome any obstacle. Furthermore, acknowledging God's supremacy over our problems fosters a spirit of resilience within us. Instead of being defeated by setbacks or failures, we are emboldened to persevere, knowing that God is working all things together for our good. Even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, we can take heart in the knowledge that nothing is impossible with God by our side. In essence, understanding that God is bigger than our problems transforms the way we view ourselves, our circumstances, and our purpose in life. It reminds us that we are part of something greater than ourselves and that our lives have meaning and significance in the grand tapestry of God's creation. So, let us embrace this truth wholeheartedly, trusting in God's unfailing love and provision, and let us live each day with faith, courage, and gratitude for the boundless blessings He has bestowed upon us. Moreover, realizing that God is bigger than our problems enables us to find peace in the midst of life's storms. When we face challenges that seem overwhelming, we can rest in the assurance that God is with us, guiding us through the darkness and leading us into the light. His presence is like a beacon of hope, shining brightly even in the darkest of times, reminding us that we are never alone. Furthermore, understanding God's greatness encourages us to surrender our worries and fears to Him. Instead of trying to carry the weight of our problems on our own shoulders, we can cast them upon the Lord, knowing that He cares for us deeply. This act of surrender allows us to experience the freedom and joy that come from trusting in God's perfect love and provision. Additionally, recognizing God's sovereignty over our problems fills us with hope for the future. No matter how bleak our circumstances may appear, we can hold fast to the promise that God is working all things together for our good. Even when we cannot see a way forward, we can trust that God has a plan and a purpose for our lives, and that He will never leave us nor forsake us. The truth that God is bigger than our problems is a powerful reminder of His unfailing love, strength, and faithfulness. It is a truth that brings comfort in times of trouble, courage in times of trouble, courage in times of uncertainty, and hope in times of despair. So let us cling to this truth with unwavering faith, knowing that with God by our side, we can overcome any obstacle that stands in our way. Moreover, understanding that God is bigger than our problems compels us to approach life with a spirit of gratitude and humility. When we recognize the magnitude of God's power and love, we are humbled by His greatness and grateful for His blessings. This attitude of gratitude transforms our perspective, allowing us to see our problems not as burdens to bear alone, but as opportunities for growth and spiritual development. Furthermore, acknowledging God's supremacy over our problems strengthens our faith and trust in Him. As we reflect on His faithfulness throughout history and in our own lives, we are reminded that He is always working for our good, even when we cannot see the outcome. This deepens our trust in His promises and gives us the confidence to persevere through difficult times, knowing that He is faithful to His word. Additionally, recognizing God's sovereignty over our problems empowers us to live with purpose and passion. When we understand that God has a plan for our lives and that He is in control, we can pursue our goals and dreams with confidence, knowing that He will guide us every step of the way. This frees us from the shackles of fear and doubt, allowing us to embrace the abundant life that God has promised us. Moreover, recognizing God's supremacy over our problems inspires us to cultivate a mindset of perseverance and resilience. Instead of allowing setbacks or failures to discourage us, we can view them as opportunities for growth and refinement. With God's strength within us, we can press on towards our goals and aspirations, confident that He will equip us with everything we need to succeed. Furthermore, understanding that God is bigger than our problems encourages us to live a life of compassion and service towards others. When we realize the depth of God's love for us, we are compelled to share that love with those around us who are struggling. Whether through acts of kindness, words of encouragement, or simply being a listening ear, we can be a source of hope and support to those in need. Additionally, acknowledging God's greatness prompts us to surrender our desires and plans to His will. Instead of relying on our own understanding, we can seek His guidance and direction in all aspects of our lives. By aligning our will with His, we can experience the peace and fulfillment that come from living in harmony with God's purposes. The truth that God is bigger than our problems is a transformative revelation that shapes every aspect of our lives. It gives us strength in times of weakness, hope in times of despair, and purpose in times of uncertainty. So, let us hold fast to this truth, trusting in God's unfailing love and provision, and let us live each day with faith, courage, and compassion, knowing that He is always with us, guiding us every step of the way. We've explored the profound truth that God is bigger than our problems. Through moments of reflection, we've come to understand that His power, love, and sovereignty transcend any challenge we may encounter. So, as we navigate the complexities of life, let us hold fast to this unshakable truth. Remember, your problems do not define you. Rather, they serve as opportunities for growth, resilience, and faith. With God at the helm, guiding and sustaining us, we can face each day with courage and confidence. We hope this video has served as a source of encouragement and inspiration for you. Let it be a reminder that no matter how daunting your circumstances may seem, God is always there, ready to lift you up and carry you through. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery. May you continue to walk in the light of God's love, trusting in His unfailing promises. And may your life be a testament to the greatness of our Almighty Creator. Until next time, take heart, stay strong, and know that God is indeed faithful.